Exercise 3. You should spend about 20 minutes on questions 27 to 40, which are based on reading Exercise 3 on pages 91 and 92. Attitudes towards artificial intelligence. Section A. Artificial intelligence (AI) can already predict the future. Police forces are using it to map when and where crime is likely to occur. Doctors can use it to predict when a patient is most likely to have a heart attack or stroke. Researchers are even trying to give artificial intelligence imagination so it can plan for unexpected consequences. Many decisions in our lives require a good forecast, and artificial intelligence is almost always better at forecasting than we are. Yet for all these technological advances, we still seem to deeply lack confidence in artificial intelligence predictions. Recent cases show that people don't like relying on artificial intelligence and prefer to trust human experts even if these experts are wrong. If we want artificial intelligence to really benefit people, we need to find a way to get people to trust it. To do that, we need to understand why people are so reluctant to trust artificial intelligence in the first place. Section B. Take the case of Watson for oncology, one of technology giant IBM's supercomputer programs. This attempt to promote this program to cancer doctors was a PR disaster. The artificial intelligence promised to deliver top quality recommendations, the treatment of 12 cancers that accounted for 80% of the world's cases. When doctors first interacted with Watson, they found themselves in a rather difficult situation. On the one hand, if Watson provided guidance about a treatment that coincided with their own opinions, physicians did not see much point in Watson's recommendations. The supercomputer was simply telling them what they already knew, and these recommendations did not change the actual treatment. On the other hand, if Watson generated a recommendation that contradicted the expert's opinion, doctors would typically conclude that Watson wasn't competent, and the machine wouldn't be able to explain why its treatment was plausible because its machine learning algorithms were simply too complex to be fully understood by humans. Consequently, this has caused even more suspicion and disbelief, leading many doctors to ignore the seemingly outlandish artificial intelligence recommendations and stick to their own expertise. Section C. This is just one example of people's lack of confidence in artificial intelligence and their reluctance to accept what artificial intelligence has to offer. Trust in other people is often based on our understanding of how others think and having experience of their reliability. This helps create a psychological feeling of safety. Artificial intelligence, on the other hand, is still fairly new and unfamiliar to most people, even if it can be technically explained, and that's not always the case. Artificial intelligence decision making process is usually too difficult for most people to comprehend. And interacting with something we don't understand can cause anxiety and give us a sense that we are losing control. Many people are also simply not familiar with many instances of artificial intelligence actually working, because it often happens in the background. Instead, they are actually aware of instances where artificial intelligence goes wrong. Embarrassing artificial intelligence failures receive a disproportionate amount of media attention, emphasizing the message that we cannot rely on technology. Meanwhile, learning is not foolproof, in part because the humans who design it aren't. Section D. Feelings about artificial intelligence run deep. In a recent experiment, people from a range of backgrounds were given various um, sci-fi films about artificial intelligence to watch, and then asked questions about automation in everyday life. It was found that regardless of whether the film they watched depicted artificial intelligence in a positive or negative light, simply watching a cinematic vision of our technological future polarized and participants' attitude. Optimists became more extreme in their enthusiasm for artificial intelligence, and skeptics became even more guarded. This suggests people use relevant evidence about artificial intelligence in a biased manner to support their existing attitudes, a deep-rooted human tendency known as confirmation bias. As artificial intelligence is represented more and more in media and entertainment, it could lead to a society split between those who benefit from artificial intelligence and those who reject it. More pertinently, refusing to accept the advantages offered by artificial intelligence could place a large group of people at a serious disadvantage. Section E. Fortunately, we already have some ideas about how to improve trust in artificial intelligence. Simply having a nervous experience with artificial intelligence can significantly improve people's opinions about the technology, as was found in the study mentioned above. Evidence also suggests, and the more you use other technologies such as the internet, and the more you trust them. Another solution may be to reveal more about the algorithms which artificial intelligence uses, and the purposes they serve. Several high-profile social media companies and online marketplaces already release transparency reports about government requirement requests and surveillance disclosures. A similar practice for artificial intelligence could help people have a better understanding of the way algorithmic decisions are made. Section F. Research suggests that allowing people some control over artificial intelligence decision making could also improve trust and enable artificial intelligence to learn from human experience. For example, one study showed that when people were allowed the freedom to slightly modify an algorithm, they felt more satisfied with its decisions, more likely to believe it was superior, and more likely to use it in the future. We don't need to understand the intricate inner working of artificial intelligence systems, but if people are given a degree of responsibility for how they are implemented, they will be more willing to accept artificial intelligence in their lives. Questions 27 to 32. Reading passage 3 has 6 sections A to F. Choose the correct reading for correct heading for each section from the list of headings below. Write the correct number 1 to 8 in boxes 27 to 32 on your answer sheet. List of headings. Section A. The superiority of artificial intelligence projections over those made by humans. 3. Section B. Widespread distrust of an artificial intelligence innovation. 6. Section C. Reasons why we have more faith in human judgment than in artificial intelligence. 2. Section D. An increasing divergence of attitudes towards artificial intelligence. 1. Section E. Encouraging openness about how artificial intelligence functions. 7. Section F. The advantages of involving users in artificial intelligence processes. 5. Questions 33 to 35. Choose the correct letter A, B, C, or D. Write the correct letters in boxes 33 to 35 on your answer sheet. What is the writer doing in section A? Highlighting the existence of a problem. C. According to section C, why might some people be reluctant to accept artificial intelligence? Its complexity makes them feel that they are at a disadvantage. B. What does the writer say about the media in section C of the text? It leads the public to be mistrustful of artificial intelligence. A. Questions 36 to 40. Do the following statements agree with the claims of the writer in reading passage 3 in boxes 36 to 40 on your answer sheet? Write yes if the statement agrees with the claims of the writer, no if the statement contradicts the claims of the writer, not given if it is impossible to say what the writer thinks about this. Subjective depictions of artificial intelligence in sci-fi films make people change their opinions about automation. No. Portrayals of artificial intelligence in media and entertainment are likely to become more positive. Not given. Rejection of the possibilities of artificial intelligence may have a negative effect on many people's lives. Yes, familiarity with artificial intelligence has very little impact on people's attitude on the technology. No. Artificial intelligence applications which users are able to modify are more likely to gain consumer approval. Yes,